Hello and welcome back to my humble show. Just a bit of housekeeping in this one. I have to keep my word for someone who commented under a different video of mine, one which I uploaded just recently. Apparently I was not clear enough in it, so here's a clarifying video. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, well, I uploaded a video titled Candace Owens has been under NDA the whole time she has been smearing Erica Kirk and tpusa. I put a question mark at the end of it, but it was more of a statement. I was wondering what people thought about whether tpusa would sue Candace Owens before or maybe after Tyler Robinson's murder trial wraps up, because, they may not want the two intersecting. Many people in the comments saying, oh, tpusa does not want discovery because they're hiding something. Yeah, that seemed to be a bit of a theme in the comment section under that video, which has more than 1,000 views now. For some reason, it took off, at least by my standard. 60 comments. Some of them are mine because I try my best to respond to as many people as possible. But the most repetitious comment of all was the suggestion, the claim, really, that tpusa doesn't want to sue Candace Owens, I guess, ever, because they don't want discovery to reveal their dirty secrets. Of course, my response to that is, you're just acknowledging that nothing has been discovered yet. When you're speculating about what might be discovered, you're just acknowledging that nothing has yet been discovered. I mean, if the suggestion is that some crime will be discovered, again, that just means that it hasn't yet been discovered. And if it had been, well, because it's a crime, someone would be taking them to court. Just going to throw that out there. So yeah, people can speculate all they want. The talking points in the comments, all fine with me. I have fun combating them when I am able to find the time. I guess I am still surprised at the level of lunacy in the comment section, and I'm going to call it that. That's exactly what it is to me. People who are under this impression that if Charlie Kirk were alive today, he would be siding with Candace Owens over his own widow, over his own wife. She wouldn't be a widow if he were still here, but you know what I mean. According to Candace Owens, he visits her from purgatory in her dreams and lets her know that he's on her side rather than the side of his own widow. The people that buy into that notion, I just find appalling. But there's plenty of room for disagreement here. Feel free to disagree with me. Let me know in the comments below what you think, what you know, as always. But yes, someone with a channel name I cannot say, just a bunch of digits. Literally, I do not know if that's his name or something else. Looks like a foreign name. That's fine. Wherever you're from, happy to hear from you. This individual said, and I guess I could pull up the comment on the screen. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. I have it highlighted. So your only source is an AI answer, this person asks. A part of that, then zero clips, posts online, articles, anything. Are we just supposed to trust AIs that, among other things, are known to do hallucinations? Okay, so what this person is referring to is the fact that in my video, the aforementioned video about the NDA, I read off some quotes by Grok. Yeah, AI, I know. I was trying to keep the video as short as possible. I didn't insert my sources, but I thought it was kind of a given. And also, like, the people who are disagreeing with me are people who are presumably fans of Candace Owens. And if they're fans of Candace Owens, they should be watching her podcast to know what she's saying and what she's showing on her podcast. And guess what? She literally showed the NDA via a cease and desist letter, which she had received from Turning Point USA, again, just recently. So I'm going to pull up her actual podcast and play a small portion of that for you so you can hear it for yourself. You can see it for yourself. She puts it on the screen and everything. But let me just read my response to this person first and foremost. I said, so when I upload a video within the next 24 hours, check, showing Candace in her original podcast on YouTube with the document on the screen, you're going to tell me I'm right? If you're asking these questions in good faith, that's fine. But I've seen so many different excuses on this, most contradicting each other, and some of which are coming from people who are defending Candace without having even watched her podcast to know that she's literally the source on this. Because tpusa sent her a cease and desist due to her breach of the NDA. And she read it off to complain about it. Of course. The reason why I didn't show it was because I was trying to keep my video short, which I struggle to do. Fingers crossed on this one. But I'll certainly upload something with it as soon as possible to combat some of these excuses I'm seeing in the comments. Unlike Candace, I'm never going to rely on my dreams and vibes as a source. So pulling up her podcast now. I'm going to play just a little bit of it. Momentarily, she's going to pull it up on her screen. And I will actually link her podcast in the description box below mine. So you can click on it, watch it in its entirety, since I'm only going to be playing a small portion of it. Though, again, if you're fans of hers, shouldn't you already be watching her to know what you're talking about? Here you go.
Am I being punished because you lied? And I realized it or something, and somehow we have this contract that we've had for years, and now it's like, well, you're not allowed to see us do anything bad because remember, we paid you.
Okay. Here on the screen is the cease and desist, a portion of it anyways. And in it, there's reference to the Non-Disparagement agreement. But notice what she said there about payment. I'm going to back it up and play it one more time for the people in the back.
Realized it or something, and somehow we have this contract that we've had for years, and now it's like, well, you're not allowed to see us do anything bad because remember, we paid you.
Notice how when she takes money from someone, they're the bad guys for paying her, since they're paying her to control her, presumably. Similar to how she claims that the Daily Wire was trying to enslave her with contractual obligations. Of course, that would mean that Charlie Kirk was trying to enslave her as well, since, lo and behold, she was under contract with him. But yeah, she could literally take money from someone, sign papers, and then make them out to be the bad guy, even though she agreed to it. But if it's anyone else, if anyone else takes money, they're bought and paid for. I get this all the time in my comments. Now that I'm recording and uploading again. People saying that I'm a Jew. People saying that I'm getting that 7,000 or 700 or 7 whatever check from, I don't know, you tell me. Apparently you know. Apparently you have the scoop on where it's coming from. I could use some of that cash, but hey, Candace has more than enough. Just look at what she's wearing. Hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of garb on her in pretty much every podcast of hers. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, I have not called her a demon. I have not even called her demonic. I have strayed away from that because it's kind of cliche. Yeah? But if I do say it, or even if I don't, people are in the comments saying, oh, Are you getting paid to call her a demon? Are you reading a script? You're going to say this, you're going to say that. And I'm like, okay, what about the claims that this person or that person is getting paid? What about the automatic assumption that if I'm opposed to Candace Owens, it must mean I'm a Jew? Are you not paid for your talking points? I mean, I don't assume that you are because that's stupid. I have no proof of that. Well, neither do you. But it doesn't stop you from assuming, speculating. Just like you're speculating when you say, oh, tpusa does not want to go to court because they do not want discovery. You're just saying stuff and you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what's going to happen, namely after Tyler Robinson's trial wraps up. If and when they take legal action against her, and I assume they will, you'll have an awful lot of egg on your face, and I assume they will at some point, in part because they have sent this cease and desist in which they bring up the fact that she has continued to disparage them despite having a non-disparagement agreement with them. She agreed to this again. She took money from them, and yet now she's leading you to believe that they're the bad guys for paying her. But again, if it's someone else, then you're the bad guy for taking money. One more time for the people in the front.
Realized it or something, and somehow we have this contract that we've had for years, and now it's like, well, you're not allowed to see us do anything bad because remember, we paid you. Goes on, in my December 2nd letter, I highlighted Miss Owens' farmer's ongoing contractual obligation not to make any disparaging, false, misleading, or otherwise defamatory comments about Turning Point USA and or...
What? You mean I was right? So she's reading the second half of this. What you see on the screen right now. She's reading the second half of this, and I'll play just a little bit more of it. I just want to put the proof in the pudding for you, in case you're a little bit slow to the party.
Or its employees, agents, directors, officers, affiliate programs, or services. See speaking agreement, blah, blah. Owens Farmer freely undertook this obligation in exchange for payment by support from and access to Turning Point USA. Her obligation remains in effect for 12 months following the term of her agreements, which were terminated on December 2nd, 2025.
So her speaking agreement expired in December. And then the NDA, the disparagement portion, applies for 12 more months afterwards. Meaning this entire time she has been disparaging tpusa, she has been under the obligations of a non-disparagement agreement, which she has clearly been violating because it's not even about whether or not statements are true. She likes to talk about how, oh, they're lying. They're lying. She just asserts that they're lying about things. She'll accuse them of lying without proof. She just doesn't like what's said, so she says that they're lying. And then when they don't respond to her, they don't give her the answer that she wants, or maybe they even do. But of course, it's never good enough for her. She just continues to say that they're lying. She says, you're lying, and if you're not, prove it. And she doesn't take it upon herself to prove that they're lying. She just gets to ask questions, and asking questions makes her a truth teller. And because she's telling truths about them by asking questions about them, that means they're not telling the truth. It's all about proving negatives with her. Mental gymnastics stuff, gaslighting stuff, the stuff of sociopaths. But I digress. There you have it. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. And I don't want to beat a dead horse on this one. I'm just giving the people what the people wanted. And the comments beneath my other video, or at least that one person, most of the other people were just, well, repeating the talking points I already referred to. A few more reasonable individuals pop up here and there, and I definitely appreciate their feedback. But yes, we are living in a land of delusion, apparently, where many people cannot see the forest for the trees. But hey, just because you can't hear the tree fall on the forest doesn't mean it didn't fall. It might just mean that you are deaf. What else did I have to say? Dumb, I should add. Deaf and dumb. Not a good combination. Hopefully your other senses are heightened, but I'm not counting on it. One more time, I'll reiterate that I will link that podcast in the description box below this video if you want to go over there and check it out for yourself. I'm not recommending that anyone watch her show on the regular, but if you're going to be defending her, you should probably know what's going on over there. Enough with this nonsense about how she has nothing to hide and Turning Point USA does. First of all, Candace Owens may not have anything to hide simply because she has no shame anymore. She needs some, but she has none. On the other hand, you have Turning Point USA. They have a lot to lose. They do. And even if they don't want discovery, that's not proof of guilt. It's not. Who wants discovery besides people like Candace Owens? Most sane people in most situations don't want to be dragged through the mud in a process of discovery or in a lawsuit. Well, I guess I shouldn't broad brush this. Some people like to be in court more than others, but they're already dealing with a court process, and that's a murder trial, and that's the most important trial, not some sinister sideshow over here named Candace who would love to be taken to court because what is she? She's an attention junkie. There's nothing she wants more than more attention than she already has. She has tried to get in the middle of this narrative. She has embedded herself deeply into Charlie Kirk's assassination story. As I say, she's suffering from main character syndrome, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. Not to mention the Macron case. She's not exactly given up on that, is she? So, they could take her to the cleaners. And I think that tpusa probably could too, especially considering she has been violating her non-disparagement agreement. But that, and then all of the defamation on top of it, the claims she has made about their finances, her calls for people to pull financial support from them, all that and then some. But no, it's just not reasonable to act as though the people who have a reason to sue are the ones who are automatically guilty. That's upside down thinking. I mean, we're all agreeing that the question is whether or not they're going to sue her, not whether or not she is going to sue them. You think she would win that? You think if she sued them, after all, she is playing the victim. Poor her, right? They're victimizing her. They're attacking her. So should Candace Owens sue Erica Kirk and tpusa? Should she sue them? And if she did, do you think she would win in court? No. She'd be laughed out of court. With a laugh and a half. Yeah. It's no laughing matter, but she definitely deserved to be laughed at. She's a walking, talking embodiment of all things memes at this point in her career of grifting. But you know how I feel about it. So, keep in touch, keep in tune. New content is coming soon. Peace.